What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Let me know in the chat if you know what tune I'm playing, if you know what tune we're studying today. We're going to study the tune I was just playing that I was just hinting at. Let me know where you're from in the world. Let me know if you can hear me okay, if you can hear the piano okay, because we're going to learn some harmony today. Maybe you know this tune. I know somebody's going to know what I'm playing. I didn't play the melody, but I played the harmony. I played the changes, as we like to say. And so you might be able to know, what's up, Madrid, Spain, England. England is in the house. Canada, one of my favorite countries, if not my favorite. Belgium, another favorite of mine. All right, I'm going to tell you once I see a country that I haven't been to. I've been to all these places. Wales, been there. Went to a wedding in Wales of my relative. Denmark, absolutely. I love Denmark. Dubai, I've never been to Dubai. I've been to some of the other Emirates in that area, but not Indonesia. I've been there. Germany, I've been there. Reno, Nevada. Definitely been there. Madrid, I love Madrid. Wisconsin, just up the road from us. DC. All right. Desmond says, my Cherie Amour. That's the first one who's got that correct. That's exactly what we're doing. Germany, I'm actually half German. Argentina, Beaverton, Oregon. I've never been to Argentina, and I really want to go. Bring me there to play music, or teach music, or listen to music, or eat food, or some combination. Paris, France. Many times. Some of my first really fun gigs were in Paris. Overjoyed. That's not what we're doing today, but that's a good one. Portugal, what's up? South Africa. I've been all these places. Dang. I've done a little Uzbekistan. There you go. Haven't been there. What's up, Japan, New Jersey, San Diego, Germany. I'm just going to name one if I haven't been there. Serbia, Italy. Been these places. Brazil, I love Brazil. Vietnam, never been to Vietnam. I'd like to go. France, Texas, France, Italy, San Diego, Holland, Rome, Nolans. What's up, Joe? Where you at? Where you at? South Africa, Oceanside, Dublin, Ireland. Yes, I think I'm going to be there possibly next month. Some of my family's going to be there. I'm hoping to be there. Spain, Phoenix. All right, so great to see you guys. Can you hear okay? Just give me a thumbs up if the piano sounds good to you. And we're going to get started with the lesson in just a second here. The idea with this today is Stevie Wonder's music is fun, amazing. I mean, this is my opinion. I think a lot of people feel this way. It's great to listen to. It's some of the most iconic cultural artifacts that we've presented, that we've produced in this country for the world, that Stevie Wonder has. We like to all take credit for it. But it's also a great entry point into understanding what can get into some very advanced harmony. And Stevie is a master at composition and crafting his compositions in a way that, like, he makes something that's really complicated harmonically sound easy and sound beautiful. So I think I found some ways on these tunes for us to be able to navigate this harmony as a little bit of entry point. So this is not totally beginner, mainly because Stevie likes, this is in the key of D flat. If you put this tune in the key of F, it gets a little bit easier. But there's nothing in here that anybody should be scared of. We're going to be talking about a lot of triads today. We're going to be talking about a little bit of pentatonics. And if you've ever been interested in pentatonics but scared of them, you're at the right place, because I'm going to show you how a pentatonic is actually potentially easier than a major scale, because it's only got 5 notes instead of 7 notes in it. That's what a pentatonic scale is. But we're going to put some triads together, and we're going to start to put some things together that are going to, I think, sound pretty good. And we're going to have a little bit of fun while we're at it, okay? That's the introduction. introduction to my Cherie Amour. And then, of course, it gets into... get into that. Let me give you first a little bit of a roadmap. Should I give you guys this? Well, I'll show it to you now so that we can see what it looks like. Can you all see that? Boom. Can you guys see that okay? I can't see it on my screen for some reason, but that's okay. I just want to make sure before we start charging or what.
Just 1 second. It's, you're looking at a delayed screen.
Oh, I'm looking at a delay. Oh, of course, I'm looking at delayed. I forgot about that. There we go. Okay, so this is what's happening here. We're going to look at the introduction, which is the top line first, the melody. And look, if you know the melody or you can play it, that's fine, but we're mainly looking at the harmony. So the melody is more of like a reference point. We got 4 chords, right? We're in the key of D flat major. Right? So where are we starting? We're starting on the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? At G flat major. A lot of times when we think about basic harmony, we'll say, okay, G flat major. So we're going to use a G flat major triad. And that's correct. But what we're going to be talking about today are different kinds of triads. So you see in my little chicken scratch chart there, we've got G flat major for the first bar. And then in the square, it says D flat major. And a triangle always means major. That's our way of saying major. So why do we have those in a square? The actual chord is G flat major, right? The square means we're going to play a triad. So a D flat major triad. And it could be any of the different inversions, right? So if I play G flat major or even just a G flat in the left hand, but then play the D flat triad here, that gives us a much more beautiful rendition of the harmony than playing a G flat major triad. See, if I go, that's okay, but it's not as good as, right? See how modern that sounds? All that is a triad though. That's the D flat major triad. I'm just doing it in second inversion. So let's go on to the next chord. We go to B major. Now we're going to use an E flat minor triad. That's small m means minor. So we can use any of these. If we're coming from here, maybe we'll go up to here. Doesn't that sound better than? That's kind of basic, right? So we got D flat triad over G flat and then E flat minor triad over B major. Let's try that with the melody. Let's keep going. B7 and we've got an A plus. Now, if you can execute all these triads and play Stevie's tune, I'm going to give you an A+. But that's not this kind of A+. This is A augmented. The plus sign means augmented, okay? And this is not to get stuck on theory. This is to learn how stuff sounds. It's to learn how we can apply these triads to make our music sound good. So normally we'd have an A triad here, but we're going. So if you want to be able to try to hear that, go 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, raise it up. Try to sing it before you play it. Raise fifth, regular fifth, ba, ba, ba. Augmented, doesn't matter what you call it, just see if you can hear it, okay? So then we put that A augmented triad over a B. Isn't that a great sound? It's actually a B7 sharp 11. I didn't even put that in there because I didn't want to confuse you. Let's go back to the beginning so that we hear this. When we talk about a chord progression, and nobody did it better than Stevie Wonder for crafting these chords together. It's not just about having cool chords sitting on their own. It's one going to the next one, going to the next one, to the next one to tell the story, right? D flat over G flat. E flat minor over B major. Now A augmented over B. Back to D flat. No, not back to. Landing on D flat major. And we're going F minor there. Okay, so that's our fourth chord. D flat with an F minor. Again, doesn't that sound better than... That's basic Bob, right? Nothing wrong with Bob. A lot of love for Bob. But when you get these triads and you start to move them around, and I can tell you Stevie Wonder was hearing this because that's going to come later on. in between the choruses, the way that he set up this tune. That's just that F minor triad over the D flat major. Now you might be thinking, what about if you know how to flesh out the whole harmony in the left hand? D flat major triad with the major 7, you can still put that triad on top and it works. In fact, that is what the triad is. All right, let's go through our introduction now. Repeat. And then here there's a little optional A flat chord, which is the same as the last chord. We're going to get to that later. The very last chord of the tune, an A flat 13 sharp 11, which is still just a triad on top of something. It's an F triad over A flat. Okay? Let's play just the harmony now. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Repeat. 4. 1, 2. Move it around. Same triads. Okay, so as you're learning this, learn the root movement. Also learn the triads on their own. And you can start in root position with these triads if that's easier for you. But then you want to start to find the ones that are close together with good voice leading. Okay? And then you want to be able to hear these voices move. You start with the top note, that's the easiest. And you're going to sing along. And then you try to sing it before you play it. And then you can drop to a middle voice. No, down a half step to an A. And then let's go up a minor third to a C. I missed it. Let's try it again. Major 7. That's what that is. Okay? That's how you can start to train your ear. You go through those inner voices. Okay? All I'm playing is triads in the right hand. The introduction out. Okay, so again, sounds so much better than the root foundational triads. Okay, now let's get into the melody. We're in the key of D flat. The introduction starts a little bit deceptively on 4, like Stevie likes to do. Goes up to that B major, becomes a dominant, and then resolves to 1. But then kind of throws us off again for the second half of the intro. Here's a now we're going some different places. That sounds different, right? Harmony has that effect on us. It can go, whoa, we're transported somewhere. So we're at the 1, D flat major. That's our F minor triad again. Now we're going to F sharp 7 sus 4, which sounds like a really complicated chord. Which it is, except if we think about triads, all we have to do is think about E major triad over F sharp. So we got F minor over D flat, E major over F sharp, and then we're going back to our friend, the B major, which is that E flat minor triad. And then we're going back to, we're going to a different sus now, A flat sus. This is the 5 going to the 1. We've got G flat triad over A flat, okay? Again, A flat sus can be very complicated and have some great possibilities. When you break it down just as a triad, G flat triad over A flat makes a little more sense. You might say, well, hold on, you're adding in some other stuff. You're not just playing triads. I did. All I played right there was the melody and the triad that we have in the squares for all that. I did do a little bit of bass line, gave it a little bit of groove and stuff, but I didn't even have to do that. This is just the triads and the roots down here. F minor, E major triad, E flat minor, G flat over A flat. Okay, so that really explains your harmony in a beautiful way. If you can find this for every tune, this root of the foundation of the harmony. I'm just moving the triads around now, different inversions. Now we go to the 4 chord, bar 13. Remember, we had that in the introduction. Stevie's great about introducing some of his little interesting harmonic ideas in the introduction, a little bit of foreshadowing in terms of what's going to come next. So there we are in bar 15. We got an A plus, A augmented. That's our A triad. Remember? And then to the B flat, sus, which is F minor over B flat. And then here's our first new triad, and I did cheat on this one a little bit. We're going to do 4 notes, so it's not really a triad. E flat 7. So this is a B flat minor 6. So it's a B flat minor triad, which would have been fine actually, but I wanted to add the G for our pentatonics. We're going to get into that in a minute. So basically it's just a B flat minor triad with the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over the E flat. And then to the A flat sus, G flat over A flat. Then F minor. And then our bridge chord that bridges back, our transition, our pivot back to repeating the A section is an A flat 13 sharp 11. And just to confuse myself and to confuse you, you'll see in that last bar I have in the square an F diminished, which is a little bit of a funky thing. It's really just an F major triad. I have F circle, which works and really fleshes out that A flat 13. And that's actually the sharp 11. It's really flat 9. But when we get to that pentatonic, that's going to make a little bit more sense. It's really more of an F sharp diminish. But I just wanted you to know that it was a little different than just the regular major. But that's the triad you play as F major. One more time, let's play the A section down. Just our basic triads. Inversions, having fun. Okay? That's it. That's the entire harmony to this tune. And I think learning it this way with these triads moving and progressing between each of them is really the way to go and to understand the tune. Because then you can go back through and start to make a little bit of a sense of the harmonic structure and kind of the theory behind it and why it feels and sounds the way that it does. And like when it lifts up and has a different emotional feel, like, why, how does it feel like that? Because we want to learn how to play this tune, but we want to learn how to compose as well. We want to learn how to highlight the different things that Stevie has set up in the music, specifically with the harmony, but also knowing that harmony is just a gateway to everything that we can do in music, especially in terms of improvisation. Like a lot of times, if I'm going... start improvising over this form, like after I played the melody, I want to really know what the structure of the harmony is so that I can take my melody and float it, my improvisational melody, and float that on top of the harmony, right? So if I'm going D flat major, and then I go to F sharp sus, I'm improvising over that F minor triad, right? Now I'm improvising over the E triad. E flat minor triad, the G flat major, Because again, just like when we're playing the chords, if I'm on bar 13 now, G flat major 7, right? If I play just over the G flat major root position with this major 7, that's okay. But check it out when I play over using the D flat major. Now I'm adding in the next part that we're going to learn, because I know some of you are saying, wait, you're playing more than a triad. I absolutely am. And that's the next thing I want to show you. These chords, these other places that are floating above that are inside of the squares, are also useful for pentatonics in order to be able to play and to improvise over these chord changes in a way that is not stock. It's not like ordinary. It's not like inside, coloring exactly inside the squares. But it's still correct harmony. In fact, it's very advanced harmony, and it's a way to get into a more advanced way of playing over this type of harmony that's revealed to us by understanding these triadic movements that can be really exciting. So a lot of times, if you hear somebody... and you're like, wait, what are they doing? Are they playing out? That doesn't sound like the way I'm playing over it. It's kind of like the next level, and I want to show you how to go there without having to understand, a bunch of like theory and stuff that generally the changes and the moment is going by too fast to really be able to intellectualize what you're going to do. This is more of like a visceral way of attacking the harmony and having some fun with it, but still having that other place to go. Okay, so we're going to start at the A section. So we're at bar 5 now. You guys are looking at the same chart as me. And thank you guys. I'm sorry, I forgot to keep looking. I see a bunch of people from a bunch of places. Thank you guys for being here and for joining me. I'll see you in a second at the end. I can see you now, kind of. Okay, so we're going to start at bar 5, D flat major. Now we can solo over a D flat major scale. Right? But it's a little bit generic sounding, especially if we do that. And then go right to an F sharp 7. That would probably be like a mixolydian or dominant scale. Over that F sharp 7 and sus 4. But it all sounds a little bit generic, right? So what do we have? Let's take the F minor in the square, our triad. We're floating that on top of the D flat major, so maybe we play that in the left hand now. 1, 3, 5, major 7. And this is just the root plus the F minor triad as well. Now, what are we going to use as the structure? What are we going to use as the jumping off point for our improvisation? Well, yes, we can go F minor triad, and we've been doing that. But let's go minor pentatonic, because this is a minor triad. Now, what is the minor pentatonic? If you look down at the bottom of my little chicken scratch, see it says mine pentatonic. That's minor pentatonic. 1, 3, 4, 5, dominant 7. And so this is the first, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the 7th scale degree of pretty much any minor scale except that one. So we're going to use Dorian for all these minors. 1, 3, 4, 5, 7. Right? That's what we call a minor pentatonic scale. It's not the only kind of minor pentatonic scale. There's a minor 6 pentatonic scale. There's a lot of different ones. But if somebody just says minor pentatonic, 99% of the time they're talking about this. 1, 3, 4, 5, 7. But like anything, we don't have to just play it. That would be boring. But see how nice that sounds on top of that D flat major? Especially when we keep doing it going to the next chord. So now we're going to the F sharp 7 sus 4, and we've got E major. That's our triad. And that's also going to be our pentatonic, E major pentatonic. Now this was a little bit different from the minor, and we see down on our chicken scratch down there, major pentatonic, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. That's a major pentatonic. The minor was 1, 3, 4, 5, 7. This is now 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. And pentatonic just means 5-note scale. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we repeat at the octave. And it's really useful if you can learn these. In all the different keys, of course. So that works nicely over that F sharp 7 sus. Let's go back and play both those chords together. You can see how it works nicely. I'm going to start on the F minor pentatonic. Then I'm going to go right to the E major pentatonic. Let's go ahead and do the next one, because now it's going to really start to sound good when we have it in line with the phrase. Then we go to B major 7. We got an E flat minor. So back to a minor pentatonic. 1, 3, 4, 5, 7. This one's easy, or at least simple to be able to understand, because it's all black keys. And then we go to G flat. A flat 7 sus 4, but a G flat major, and that major pentatonic is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. What do you notice? All black keys again. You can say, wait, how could that be? The E flat minor pentatonic was all black keys. How could the G flat major? Well, that's where they're actually diatonically the same. So this, when you're on the E flat minor, it's 1, 3, 4, 5, 7. And this is a good example, because when you're looking at all the black keys, it can start to sort of make sense. G flat major, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So you're skipping that, 5, 6. But then you drop down to there. There's some science behind this too, because G flat major is the relative major of the relative minor of E flat. Okay, E flat minor is the relative minor of G flat major. And their pentatonic scales correspond and match up accordingly. Okay, let's do those first 4 bars. We're going to go from the F minor over the D flat 7 to the E major pentatonic, over the F sharp to the E flat minor, over the B, and then the G flat over the A flat. And then we'll repeat 4 bars, because we've already learned those, right? D, 4. Now we're at 14 bar 15. We've got that A plus, right? The A augmented. Now, there's a lot of different ways to look at this. I think the best way is to think about this pentatonic as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, you could add that in, but that doesn't sound as good in the whole tone scale. So we're skipping that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this one's very simple, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we've got the raised. The 4th is raised, and the 5th is raised, so that it fits in with that whole tone plus sound. And that's over a B. And it fits really well over that B13 sharp 11. That's a wonderful Billy Strayhorn tune called A Flower's a Lovesome Thing that starts with that very same chord. Nice little connection with Strayhorn and Wonder. And then we go B flat 7, F minor. And then bar 17, we've got that E flat 9. The B flat minor 6 pentatonic is 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one's a little bit of a hybrid. This is kind of if you want to go next level. You don't have to do this, but I like playing this. A lot of good players like playing this, I think. And it's a nice one to know as far as a pentatonic scale. It's basically the same structure as a major pentatonic. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Wait, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 3. No, forget what I'm saying. It's the same. It's the same as the minor pentatonic, except the 6 is substituted for the 7th. So the regular minor pentatonic for B flat would be 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, and this one is 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big cheat code for you. If you want to develop your ears, sing things before you play them. When you're first learning them, sing them after you play them, because you haven't heard them yet. Then try to sing them with you playing, and then try to sing them before you play. So the first I'd be like, ma, ba, 4, 5, 6, root, right? And then I try to sing it together. Ba, 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 da, ba, da, ba, ba. And then I try to sing it on its own. Ba, ba, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7th, just to test myself. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 3, 4, 5. Dominant 7, maybe a little major 7, flat 13. Whatever it is that you want to learn, sing it first and then check yourself. But that's a nice one. That's the minor 6 pentatonic. B flat minor 6 over E flat. And then that one we know. Now, here we got our funny little F diminished major one, right? So this one is... So we go root, flatted 2nd, 3rd, 5th. This one you just got to learn. F, G flat, A, C, E flat. But it resolves really nicely. I'm only using pentatonics. Pentatonic. Let me go through it a little bit slower, okay? So I can't tell you how, first of all, how hard it is for me to just stay on the pentatonic, because they're great, but they make you start to hear even more, you know, and then start to get into more alterations. But it's a great exercise to first build up to being able to play over these with just the triads and then just the pentatonics. But it's so foundational that you will start to hear other things. For instance, like I'm going to start like connecting the dots even within those pentatonic scales, the notes that aren't in there. Maybe a little passing tone. And then, you know, resolving that 4th to the 3rd of the A flat sus, you know. But the foundation of it is still pentatonic. That's all pentatonic. All pentatonic. And then when you get to these two chords, the B major and the A flat sus, those pentatonics, the E flat minor and the G flat major, are all black keys. You can start to even visually see if you're going to leave those and what they would sound like. You know, something like that. Right? That's outside of it, but it works. So there, what I was doing, I'm just doing that minor 6 pentatonic, but then I'm going into some more 7 and 8 note scales, kind of bebopish thing. So you can combine these. That's the beauty, and you can kind of, you know, start to take it next level. Is that helpful? Does that make sense? Do I need to go faster? Do I need to go slower? Let me know. I'm going to check into the comments here a little bit. I'm really confused about that F diminished in measure 22. Why are we playing it as F major. Yes, I kind of wrote it wrong, but then I decided to leave it because I just wanted you to see that it's weird. It's not an actual F diminished. Remember, these chords that are within the squares, those aren't really the chords we're playing. They're just reference points to triads and to pentatonic scales. Okay, so I know that's why I'm not like, we're not doing this as a PDF or anything. You can watch this. This was just my way of visualizing a way to float on top of these chords. That last chord is an A flat 13, flat 9. I have sharp 11. That's not even right. Although a sharp 11 fits. Sounds a little weird. It's a flat 9. I made a mistake there. Sorry. But the idea is that the triad is an F major triad. And I should have just put F major. But the major pentatonic doesn't work over that. We need this kind of weird hybrid diminished. That's the actual pentatonic scale that works. And then resolves nicely, okay? So it's F, G flat, A, C, E flat. And if you want to think about it, and the reason I put diminished was because I was thinking about an F sharp diminished on top of an F. And then I was going to go back and add that. I'm like, now it's getting too confusing, you know what I mean? So I confused y'all enough. Yes, I'm not asking again, that's the screen name says like F sharp diminished with a major 7, exactly. And you can go through the diminished cycle, works on that. What song are we talking about? Where you been? This is my Cherie Amour. Play Misty for me. We're not taking requests, are we? Any questions about anything, but specifically about this would be great. Make it a PDF always. Actually, you know what? We do have, so we have, this is part of a series. This is kind of an abbreviated lesson that I did that's about to come out as the last lesson of a course I did called The Harmony of Stevie Wonder. Shameless plug here now for that. The Harmony of Stevie Wonder, I go over like 5 or 6 different tunes. I do Overjoyed. I do. It's the same way. Triads, shells. You know, really breaking down the harmony, demystifying it, having some fun. You know, we do a little bit with the melody and stuff, but it's really about that harmony of Stevie Wonder. That's why the course is called Harmony of Stevie Wonder. And that's available now. We've just released it. And if you want to sign, if you're not an Open Studio member, we're having, I don't know how much longer this is going to go, but we still have our 14-day free trial because we are really like wanting just to get new people. We've been getting a lot of folks, and we want it to be as easy and as risk-free for you guys. So you could just sign up for 14 days, go through as much of the Harmony of Stevie Wonder course as you want, and then you can quit. No problem. You won't owe anything. We don't make it hard to quit. You just go in and quit, or you can send us an email. You can leave at any time. No hard feelings. It's no kind of trickery. We think once you get in there, you're going to see the wonderful community that we have. Not only this course, Adam Manis has just released his Harmony Games course, which people are going crazy over. So we have a lot of resources. We have an amazing community. We have a brand new community area and platform called The Hang, where you can meet other like-minded musicians and banter and talk and ask questions and connect with them. We got folks around the world connecting in real life that they have met on The Hang. And so it's a really exciting thing. But yeah, anyway, so this will actually be in a better form, is part of the course with this written out and transcriptions of what I'm doing in the Harmony of Stevie Wonder. What else do I do? I think I do a little I Can't Help It. I do Overjoyed. Is that what that is? That was a fun lesson because I really go deep on these moo chords that Stevie does. I talk all about that, and it's cool. Someone's asking about our mentor sessions include. Yes, mentor sessions are included in the 14-day trial. And actually, this would be a great time for you to sign up for the trial because this week, so mentor sessions are a thing that we have where we bring in a master teacher, artist, luminary to talk live on Fridays at, I believe it's 3 p.m. Eastern. It might be 4 p.m. But it's always Friday afternoon. And live with the whole community over Zoom. And basically do like an hour plus session Oftentimes it's themed, like, how to navigate chord changes on standards or whatever. But we have Jeff Keezer, Fred Hirsch. This week we have Joe Locke, the amazing vibraphonist. We've had Christian McBride. We've had Adam Manis. We do them in-house sometimes. This week is Joe Locke. Next week is Mr. Ron Carter. The maestro himself is going to be doing a live private mentor session for our entire community. So if you get in on the trial, you would have access to that for free, which is crazy. But it's things like that. We've had many wonderful moments. I mean, I remember Fred Hirsch at one of his first mentor sessions, like, just blew my mind, like, with something that I'm still practicing on. And it's just a fun way to kind of end the week together. They're also recorded. We have an archive of those that are available as an ongoing resource for everybody. Do you break down Send One Your Love? I didn't, but, well, you know what? I have a lesson. I can't remember what key it's in now. Whatever it is. I have a lesson on Send One Your Love in the jazz piano method, which is part of the program as well. Sir Duke. Do we have Big Brother? I love Big Brother. This is some great. Yeah, let me know your favorite Stevie tune. I know a lot of them. I don't know all of them. Let me know. I haven't actually done Sir Duke, but I did I Wish. I think I've got about 10 lessons on different Stevie Wonder tunes. The harmony, of course, the harmony of Stevie Wonder course is just sort of the latest thing where I'm focusing specifically, like I did in this little mini lesson for y'all today, on like the specific kind of component, like the lessons in jazz piano method. And somebody's asking about Summer Soft. I have a lesson on that. That's really breaking down like how to play a solo piano, the harmony, the melody, the whole thing, the construction. Second verse. That's a hard tune. I didn't put that. I have a lesson on it, but I didn't put it in the harmony of, because we really wanted this to be an entry point kind of course for people that are like wanting to get into more like advanced jazz harmony, or what they think of as jazz harmony. And I think Stevie's a great entry point. But this tune is just like, I mean, you heard me just struggling with it. It's like there's so much, and that's even before it starts going into other keys. It's in G flat major. It's a little bit of a mess until you start to get it together. It's a great tune though, but that's probably the most advanced, at least of the tunes I've learned of Stevie, or the most advanced harmonically, you know. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to answer a couple more questions, then I'm going to wrap up, because Adam Manis is actually about to record. He has his own harmony of Radiohead that he's wrapping up, I believe, today. And for members, you get to watch, or maybe that's just Open Studio Pro members, I can't remember, but you get to watch him recording that in real time. But that's another thing that you get access to as well, his take, which has been really fantastic. Another great entry point into, I almost look at like Radiohead. This is going to sound crazy. You can flame me and troll me in the comments and chat if you want. But I think Radiohead, Stevie Wonder, and a number of different artists, but we've chosen these two, like, are similar to Bach chorales. Like, if you study the harmony, in that it can help your jazz playing, it can help it can help you get to more advanced harmony by understanding these fundamentals, these building blocks of music in a really fun and musical way. If you like Radiohead, go with that. If you like Stevie Wonder, go with that. If you like Bach, go with that. Or go with all of them if you want. But the idea is that, like, you don't have to jump right to Charlie Parker or to John Coltrane on A Love Supreme. Like, that's very hard to get basic harmony from that. You know, it's so advanced. Like, what's the stepping stone in between? What's the song that you've been listening to? I mean, like, for me, some of this stuff I've been hearing so much longer. Like, I remember when this came on the radio when I was like 11 years old or whenever it was, 10 years, with Michael Jackson singing it. So I remember hearing, I could play piano, but I was just doing like classical and written stuff, or I don't know. I wasn't improvising. I wasn't playing any A flat 13 sharp 11, but I remember hearing that and being like, wait, what is that? Like, how is that result? Before, you know, we even got to looking in the mirror and the, you know, the vibe and the groove and all that, but like the harmony of it, I remember I was like, woo. So that was always like rattling around in my ears. And then I sat down, I couldn't figure it out. Eventually I did. And I didn't even know it was Stevie Wonder who wrote the tune until years later. But like that kind of stuff, pop music, things that you heard when you were growing up, or even things that you're just hearing for the first time, but that resonate with you. I want to be that, like, these courses and what we're doing Open Studio, we want to be that bridge between you liking something and being like, you know, like, how does that feel? What's the emotion that... Why does that lift up there? And then kind of come back to like a settled thing. Well, that's the major of the 5, the tritone substitution of the 5, and then it goes back to dominant. Major 7 becomes dominant. You know, like, to understand a little of the science beneath it, and most importantly, get your ears acclimated around it. Would love to do Open Studio, but the money situation is not. It's a free trial. Did I mention that? It's free. It's totally free. Try for 14 days. And if money is a problem, send us an email. We do not want money to be the barrier. We're really trying to connect the community through this music as much as possible. Boom. Now, one thing is, if you do the free trial, don't try to watch everything in 14 days. We have so much content. Relax, take a breath, and like maybe just go into the Harmony of Stevie Wonder course and look at that first. Nothing's going anywhere. If it's not for you, like I say, no problem. It's very easy to cancel. We always, I think, you know, you can even stay on it. You can do the 14-day trial, and then we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So that kicks in once your membership actually starts. So that's actually, 44 days. You could do it for another month and just say, cancel, give me a refund. No problem. No problem. Where do I know from which pentatonic to play over which chord? Okay, so... I'll just give you an example. The first one that we looked at, since it's still up on the screen, right? G flat major, the chords, the triads that are listed in the squares for each measure, that's the pentatonic that you're going to play and the type of pentatonic that you're going to play. So for the first bar, that's D flat major. Triangle means major, right? So major pentatonic, if you don't know what that sounds like or what the notes are, you take the major scale because it's a major pentatonic, D flat major, and then you're going to look down at the bottom. Major pentatonic is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Those are your 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, skip 4 because it's not listed there. 5, 6, and then 7's not listed. So you go through each one like that. The next one is E flat minor. The little M means minor. 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, because that's listed there, minor pentatonic. Okay? Could you tell about Stevie's jazz piano technique? Well, so I've heard Stevie a few times live, and I even got a chance to meet him, and I wouldn't say hang out with him. I was in awe. I just was around him a little bit. And actually, I've never played with him. It's my dream to play with him. If anybody can make that happen. I played on a program where he was playing too. Long story. I was accompanying a vocalist, and then I was hoping to be able to accompany him, but whatever. I was on the same stage in the same night, and I got to hang out with him a little bit in the green room and just be around him, you know. But I feel like I know him because I know his music. When hearing him live a few times over the years, I've heard him play some very good jazz piano. He used to do a thing where he'd warm up and play Spain, Cherie Spain, and he would solo over it. He would oftentimes do a harmonica solo, but he would do piano solo sometimes. I've heard him play like warm up on a sound like a G blues or something, and just do his thing. So I mean, I don't think he would say he's a jazz pianist, but he can play jazz piano, and obviously you hear the influence of jazz all over his music. Peter, do you know who Sam Harris is? Of course I know who Sam Harris is. I'm a big fan. Adam Manis is an even bigger fan, but I'm a fan. I think Adam Manis is a member of his meditation group. I'm sorry if I'm missing some questions. I'm going to take a couple more, and then I'm going to get up out of here. Eva Cassidy sang. I'm not aware. He's got so much stuff. I mean, like I know some insider stuff about him, but I know that there's a bunch of things that I've missed. I mean, I consider myself a huge fan, but not a scholar. You know what I mean? I've heard a lot of his stuff. There's a record called Natural Wonder that came out like in the early 90s, mid 90s, maybe even, no, I think it was maybe mid 90s. That's live in Japan. It's amazing. I have a good friend, Munyungo Jackson, that I toured with for years, he's played percussion with Stevie for many years. So I have a little bit of insider lore that I always hear from him. Greetings from Oxford. Thank you. I have some several relatives, cousins that hail from Oxford. If you're talking about Oxford, England, if you're talking about Oxford, Mississippi, I've also been there, but I don't have relatives from there, I don't think. How exactly do the courses work? Do you pay for individual or just you get access to all? I know that this sounds simple or it sounds like a trick, but you get access to all of our recorded courses with regular Open Studio membership, which is what we have the free trial going right now, the 2-week free trial. And you can just go to openstudiojazz.com to find out all the information and to sign up. But that gives you access to all of our recorded library, including the Harmony of Stevie Wonder course, including my Jazz Piano Method, which is my weekly lesson that I record every week. I've been doing it for like 11 years, and it's got like 700 lesson archive with pretty much every jazz tune you could think of, or every jazz tune I know, and then solos and a whole bunch of different, just everything I can think of and I'm passionate about. I do a lesson on it, like 20 to 40 minutes each week. I just recorded one today. So you get access to everything. The only other tier we have is called Open Studio Pro, and that is a very special program that we have that involves access to all of our live lessons each week. And this is with Adam Manis, Chris Parks, a number of other teachers. Myself, I do a live session each week, Bob DeBoo, and then we have different guests, doing classes. But basically, we have 6 days a week. We have a minimum of 2, often 4 classes a day that you can join over Zoom live in that situation. And they're progressive, like you're studying something, you're moving along. Chris Parks has, Bebop for All. Adam Manis does the Piano Masters Club. They do all different great things. That's really not for everybody. That's for people that are really want to up their playing. They've got a couple of hours a week to dedicate to showing up, to giving to the community, even if that's just being there and supporting people. That also gives you, access to Feedback Friday, or one of the Open Studio pro teachers, oftentimes Adam Manis. You can play for him and for the other folks that are in there in the community and get feedback. So that the trial doesn't cover that. Open Studio Pro is the Open Studio Pro is like getting a personal trainer, right? And a group, like in a group situation, like group workouts with a personal trainer, and you can pick Peloton, you can pick, I don't know what I'm talking about now, weights, running, whatever, your whole thing. But you're always welcome to join that. And that's another tier, but I think joining first and making sure that you like our stuff is the way to go first. Can I add in bebop sounds with the chords and the squares? Yes. So the example I think I did on that was bar 17, this E flat minor 9, and then the pentatonic is, and if you think about kind of the typical kind of bebop sound over that would be B flat minor, that octatonic scale, with the dominant 7, then the major 7 up to the root. That would be kind of a bebop-ish way to do that. But there's a number of other ways in there too. Is the harmony of Stevie going to be, it's going to be 5 or 6, I'm not sure yet. And then the next harmony of, I'm not decided yet. I'm thinking about, I know Adam's going to do Steely Dan. Who was I thinking about? I got a list of people. I got to decide that soon. It's going to be somebody fun. How did you come up with the chords, the pentatonics, and the boxes? You know what? I reverse engineered it. I looked at like, what do I like to play over this? And also, what did I hear Stevie Wonder playing over this? And just different people, like, what's the stuff that to me sounds good that I could put together in a way that would work within a system, as opposed to trying to come up with a system and force it in. So some of it was obvious, like that, because Stevie Wonder plays that. That's how I came up with that F triad. But I also knew it fit over that kind of a pentatonic sound. Now, I never thought about it until I started putting this together for the lesson. So it's not like, I don't want you to think like, oh, I'm thinking about all these things. But this is the way to practice it. Like, I went through and I wish I'd had this when I was first learning this, because I could have jumped right to this. I started out, you know, just like everybody, just trying to play over the main chord. I could barely do that, you know, much less play over something else. But I think thinking about these as triads before you even get to the pentatonics is the key to kind of getting to a hipper sound, but it being relatively simple. We're not going to take this down, so you don't have to. You can screenshot it if you want, but you can join and get it there. But you can also just come back and watch this whenever. Just save the URL. All right, I'm going to sign out of here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Once more, we have the 14-day free trial going on. Please consider joining us over there. It's an amazing community. I see some of our regular folks, Open Studio Pro members that are on here. Thank you guys for being here. They can tell you. Those are the folks that really make the community what it is, which is a wonderful thing that you get there. And thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to be doing some more of these lives. You know, Adam does these usually on the weekend every other week. So make sure you like and subscribe and turn on the bell notifications. Aren't you supposed to say that at the beginning? But that way you should get an email or something if you're subscribed, and turn on the notifications when we go live. Because sometimes I decide at the last minute, like this, I kind of decided late last night. So thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Stay lifted. Peace and piano. Happy practicing.